This way and good sell. Get the earplugs out so I don't speak too loudly yet. It is ABBA, Day 3, 2026. I've been telling you about Mrs. Fiskin in 5th grade. How old was I? Let's see. I was 8 years old for 2nd grade, 9 years old for 3rd grade, 10 for 4th, and 11 years old for 5th. So not even a deacon. Not even a deacon. Nowadays, yeah, Nelson changed the age to 11, along with 11-year-old girls to be sealed in polygamous child bride marriages. 2019. Hold that tab. I don't have to. Because of Mrs. Fiskin. I was a superiorly intelligent kid as a child. My left brain was super massively huge. Excellent in math, high honors student potential, A+ all the way. Destined for greatness. And Mrs. Fiskin. I made those mistakes as a kid. Sister Sampika, Sister Fiskin. That may be why she attacked me. They knew. Second wrong. Yeah. Idaho report. Not Utah report, Idaho report. Whether Laura Baker chose Utah, I don't know. She was fooling around with Kevin. So here I am, the only Mormon in school, other than my siblings, and Laura Baker. And she chose Kevin in the remedial class of all things. He's not even a member. So I had nobody to play with. Nobody. So, F. I don't get F's. What the bleeping hell, teacher? Brick in the wall. So, I didn't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Can you guess which generation of music I grew up in? And this is exactly what happened. If all my left brain intelligence is going to lead to F, what does it matter? It's all worthless. To memorize, to be superior in math, all to get an F. Bleep this. I'm not interested in Jeopardy anyway. And so I did what I call associative memory. Doing a transfer of file data from the left brain to the right brain for the dream visionary creative side. And it doesn't shut off the left brain because the files have to be transferred. So they're already super hyperactive. But now I've activated into high gear my right brain. And it took some time, took some practice. You know, my grades dropped. afterward because of the damage she did to me. I'll show this Mormon boy who's boss. Ruin his life. And so now, everything comes to my right brain. And so, words get triggered through the processing in the right brain. And I am able to make pattern matching. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just isn't the same. Sesame Street. Plus the matching card game. These childhood lessons were being utilized by me to reprogram my brain. And I didn't know what I was doing. I just didn't want to memorize anymore into long-term memory if it's just going to be worthless. And so instead, I crammed with the right brain before a test or a quiz. Not really wanting to do my homework, just rushing through it to get it done. I was pissed. I don't care anymore. Bleep you, teacher. Bleep you. And that may have been the year where I first said it. I still remember. It was after recess. We had been playing kickball. And the kid took off with the ball, and I just blurted it out. And I blurted it out, and I went, "Oh my God, did I just say that?" And I'm looking around. Everybody went back in because the bell rang for the end of recess, and everybody went to class. And so whether or not he heard it or whether or not he cared, yeah, so I got away with it. God didn't smite me down. Life moves on. And refused to report to my bishop. So, you want to become a deacon, huh, Travis? Is there anything in your life that you need to confess to a bishop? Nope, nothing. Oh, good. All right, here you go. You're now a deacon. Hey, we've got an activity this summer in June during the full moon where we go to the top of the mountains of San Bernardino, San Gregorio. Would you like to go? Oh, you bet. Brand new deacon, going to the top of the mountains, becoming the legend. Yeah, I caught that as I see the full moon. I see the bee in the morning. I catch these things because I've processed things now in the right brain. And so, for my Eagle Scout, you didn't hear that part? You didn't hear that story? And you're desperately wanting to know what that story was? Yeah, it's when I went to the top of the mountains I'm the lone guy, I don't know anybody. I'm new in the Deacon's Quorum. And I get to the top, I'm the last one up. And the rest of the guys are now ready to go down. I just got there. And so there was the father and son that were still up there enjoying the father and son moment. And I thought, okay, well, they're up here still, so I'm going to stay and enjoy the top of the mountain. And then I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm all alone at the top of the mountain here with a father and son. I'm the third wheel. It's a little slow yet. It takes time. Right, women? And so I'm going to try to catch up with the other guys. And so I go down the mountain. And there's a point where you have to make a turn left on the path. But it's getting dark. We're in mountains. The moon was still not up yet. The sun going behind the mountain, it creates darkness. and so it was getting dark. Couldn't really see the trail. I had my flashlight packed, I guess. Didn't need it that night. Full moon. And I keep on going and find myself on the rock bed. And I go to the edge where the river was, and it was pretty wild because, summer, melting the snow, all that stuff. And so it was a wild Mr. Toad's ride to attempt to try to cross the river. But I considered crossing the river, getting my feet wet. I considered it, but it was too wild to attempt. And so, to my right, sheer rock cliff. To the left, the forest. And so, river, forest, sheer cliff. Can't go anywhere. Knew the bridge was over by the forest. And so I go back, try to find where the right turn now is. Couldn't find it. And I didn't want to keep going up the mountain all the way back to the top. That didn't make any sense. And so I go back, still can't find it, and I hear their vehicles, zoop, they take off. They left me up there. They left me. And then they threw me under the bus. And so, oh crap, they left me up here. My first trip as a deacon, going hiking, went to the top of the mountains. It was awesome. And they abandoned me. It was all a trap. Parents were sick and tired of that F in 5th grade. Which they argued to a C-. What thanks did I show them? C-. Don't think you're the good guys. You didn't go to the principal to get the teacher fired. And so, yep, I'm being abandoned. They got sick and tired of me, and I've now been abandoned up in the mountains. They used the deacon's quorum and the young men, technically, to abandon me up in the top of the mountains. So, pull out the sleeping bag. On the rocks, riverbed, rocks, top of the mountain, full moon, symbols. And while in my sleeping bag, going to sleep, I hear another car take off. Oh crap, the father and son. They left me too, assuming that the other guys got me. They didn't. And so, the $10 or $20 that my dad gave me for Carl's Jr. afterward, had to give 10% to the church for Jesus' free atonement instead. See, I can't break a 10 or a 20. to put $1 or $2 into the tithing bucket. Parents bought me a tithing thing with the three things: one for mission, one for tithing in the middle, and then one for savings. Oh, God. And so, yeah, just a lot of the time it got bumped over into the savings, which was not really used for savings, it was used for spending. So I only had $200 by the end of my teen years that my parents then invested without my permission into the stock market through Brother Whitaker with his investment company. And it probably was even less than that, because it was $200 when I was getting married on Friday the 13th. Parents said, "Oh yeah, you got some money that we invested for you through Brother Whitaker." "Oh, you've been holding back money from me, huh? Do you want it, or do you want to keep it in there to keep investing?" "I want it." And so anyway, I'm now thinking, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? So I'm already thinking about how I'm going to live my rest of my life now through the right brain, not the left. And I'm imagining getting to the road the next day when I can see, and hiking down the whole mountain, and then just traveling south into Mexico, going down to Central America and South America where the pyramids are. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I'm going to need to have food. I'm going to go hungry. So, I don't know. Hitch a ride. Hopefully they'll pay for me. I do have $10. I'm filthy rich. And yeah, instead I wake up in the morning, a bee is right there at my head. Bee. Rocks. Top of the mountains. Full moon. Bee. Deacon. This was a different version of Ministering of Angels. Yeah. So, yeah, then I see my dad. "The bridge is over here!" Because you can't tell on the camera. It flips things around. So, yep. Isn't that special? Thanks, Dad. And so my mom made peanut butter sandwiches. I think there's honey. Oh, God. My throat was so dry and hurting, and here she made peanut butter sandwiches with a very skimpy amount of honey. Oh, dear God. Because we go yearly during the summertime to get rid of me, especially for youth. While they do the genealogy family tour. And while in Rexburg visiting Dixie and Ken. Yeah, you thought it was Barbie. No, it's Ken and Dixie. And yeah, she went to Dixie. And then she went to Rexburg. She went to Rick's College. I don't think she went to Dixie. And so, yeah, there used to be, I don't know if it's still there, there was the big store in town And that's where I would get the money binders for coin collecting. Forgot what it's called. Numismatics, something like that. And they also sold honey there, and there's some other little cool stuff that as a kid I obtained when there. But yeah, that was where my dad was from. Now Dixie was there. Ken and Dixie, not Ken and Barbie. Nope. Barbie stole the idea. Stole the idea. So yeah, the Burt brothers, you know them? Yeah, well, the family, not them, not Ken. He had the store on the corner with a repair shop for the John Deere tractors. It is not that anymore, or they sold it or something, I don't know. I don't think one of the sons took it over. They all did their own thing, I guess. I don't know anymore. They abandoned me. Common pattern theme in my life. Being abandoned. Right, House of Israel? See, I catch these things. So yeah, early morning seminary. Yeah, step aside. I'm the scripture master. Yeah, won 2 out of the 4 years of scripture mastery because of this. And I lost the other 2 because the first year was Old Testament. So this was a new experience for me. I didn't really know what to expect. And then won the next 2 for the Book of Mormon and New Testament. And then the Doctrine and Covenants year, my senior year, I didn't care anymore. I didn't even go. I'm out of here. And so yeah, with me not caring, we got to graduation, and I assumed that I did poorly because I refused to take high honors classes. What's the point of taking high honors classes to do more memorization? It's going to lead to an F. And so, because of taking the slack classes for the quick easy A, all my electives, I made sure to have every single one of Swigheimer's art classes, because everything's now in the right brain. I thrived in art, all things art, music, movies, TV, drawing, painting, etc. Writing, art, creative writing, the tugboat versus the yellow rubber ducky, comic strips, pickle comics, how to kill Gumby. It's part of the super secret sacred society of Gumby killers. Gumby and Pokey. Thought it was a little weird, but you know. And so yes, I'm learning how to develop my right brain through all this time as a seer. So sure enough, the big summer dream of '86. What do you mean I'm not gonna stay married twice? I'm now 16 years old. I just became a priest. The ministering of angels. What do you mean? She's coming with me across the road. No, she's not. No, she's not. And the other one, the stormtroopers at the top of the mountain. And yeah, I did that dream last weekend or whatever, whenever I did it. Nobody watched. Nobody cares. Everybody's waiting for Jesus because your left brain told you so. And you didn't even run that test. You were just told to memorize it and regurgitate the memorization. So you don't know. So, Eagle Scout. It's his fault he asked the question. So, at the end of your Eagle Scout days, Boy Scout days, to get your Eagle Scout, you got to have an interview. I wasn't happy about that because, oh no, they might not give it to me. And you're probably chuckling, oh no, they just give it to everybody, Travis. No, they don't. Remember, I got an F. I keep getting abandoned. Yeah, I got abandoned for Christmas. My parents took me up to the Bowen's house for Christmas. Or it was actually during the summertime, during the harvest. That one. Christmas was the Fenstermachers who went up to see their parents here in Salt Lake City. Take our son, get him out of the house. Even for my mission, they put me on the plane and the Shinnikis took over from here in Utah, who took me to the MTC. They're gonna give me crap Christmas gifts when I made a whole... I mean, seriously, my mom says, hey, here's the Sears catalog. Go through the Christmas catalog and write out a list of what you want for Christmas to make it easier for Santa's helper. We already caught you, Mom. We're already keen on what's going on here with this Christmas scam. And so my siblings do a few items from what they found in there. Tiffany probably had, about a half a dozen to maybe a dozen, because that's the way she was. So I go through with it, and I don't just use the Sears catalog for Christmas. I'm a big TV watcher, because that was what my mom set me up for, and now I'm processing everything through my right brain. Because when Todd was born, thank you, Bill. New rules last night. Todd syndrome. Yes. So yeah, we got some pretty pictures for you today, don't we? I hope. He had colic, and so abandoned by mommy. So she sat me in front of the TV to watch Sesame Street, and thus, C is for cookie, it's good enough for me. Right, Nelson? Oh, oops. Bye-bye. I do these pictures, I do these videos, they don't listen. Hold that tab, same tab. It's up on the screen. And so, yeah, I'm learning from TV now. TV becomes my teacher. The Dukes of Hazzard with Dixie Duke. Nobody told me anything about that. I just thought that it had something to do with not being allowed alcohol, despite that prohibition was repealed. A shame and embarrassment on the United States of America. A cop a day died in Chicago. I had no idea about who the Confederates were and that they were working with the Danites against Joseph Smith before they split off. I didn't know those things yet. Didn't know. And they would move to southern Utah. The land of Dixie. That's what it's about, southern Utah. Yep. Dixie Chicks. Yeah. Hello. Mormon girls from Magna. What'd you think they were talking about? They went to Dixie College. I guess. I don't know. But that's what they're calling themselves for. And then they changed, and now they're just the Chicks. Boring. Then they do the song, she's 4 and he's 2. Normally adore you. But at least that got me out of my shock. You know, remember failed marriages? As a 16-year-old boy having a dream. So I'm sitting there being asked all these questions, and they went over everything I've done, and everything's looking great. I'm well on my way to getting automatically approved to become an Eagle Scout. See, Eagles love me. Right, Mr. President? See, nobody else in the news caught this. They're all offended. You're not supposed to be alive when you have your face put on a coin. The monologue. And Bill didn't even remember. He used to do the videos about the Eagle attack, as every late night comedy and all news channels did. I catch these things. Remember? No? And so then the one guy finishes up with, do you see, oops, yourself involved in the scouting program hereafter? Oops. Even though I'm now right-brained, I'm still a guy. Right, women? If you say something, I'm going to take you at your word. Literally. Because I learned in seminary to study the word. It was still the still small voice back then. Word. So yes, I knew about the still small voice and the word with the dream. She's not going with you across the road. What do you mean she's not going? I want her to go. She's going to get caught by the guards. Yeah, exactly. But that's stupid. So yes, I know about the dream voice, the still small voice. And my mom just confused the issue, because I would walk in on her when she's talking to herself. And who are you talking to, Mom? The Holy Ghost. Okay. I heard you talking about how you were going to abandon me next. I heard you. And so, sure enough, true to form, my right brain then began looking into the future. Vision. He told me to do it. It's his fault. And so, yeah, I'm gonna get married, probably have kids, maybe, unless I'm sleeping on the couch all the time as a married man. And it's possible one of them could be a boy. I didn't know that I could decide. We don't get taught sex ed in this church. We're just told that, if we have thoughts about a woman, wanting to hold her hand, give her a little peck on the cheek, that we're sinners, pervs of the devil. Repent and talk to your bishop and get graphically detailed with him. No, thank you. I'll just live in sin. Tell him at each interview, no, everything's great. No, I didn't do that. Nope. Nope. Show the evidence. You can't prove it, copper. That's what's so disturbing. That rich people get rich lawyers and they put the prosecution to the test. Show the evidence. There's no evidence here, Your Honor. This is hearsay. My client must go free, and they always go free. And yet, Corey Richens, defense counsel, tells the Mormon judge that the Mormon prosecutor used hearsay in his closing argument. And therefore the case must be dismissed. And then the judge is arguing with her about, no, we're going to use it as evidence because you, blah, 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 blah. And so the Mormon jury said, well, yeah, she's obviously guilty because we feel it with every fiber of our spiritual witness feelings. Because that's how we were taught. And so she's convicted without evidence. I catch these things. Other people judge in the instance. Right, Israel? Because that's how the news does it. How they blame Israel for attacking Islam. They don't give a damn about the history. They don't give a damn about what the causation was. It's reporting in the moment. Israel striked. Israel striked. Israel striked. Children are being slaughtered. Women slaughtered. This is horrible. A hospital, a school, refugee camp, the press, doctors, aid organizations. Which religion are all of them from? Oh, Islam? And what's Islam's belief during a holy war? And all of a sudden the news plays dumb. Anyway, so I'm about to say that very same thing, that yeah, I expect to have a child, and he'll probably grow up, have a boy, be a child, and go to Boy Scouts, and I'll be the father and go into activities and such. Can I have my eagle now? Nope, because in that thinking, dream, vision, there's that still small voice again. What are you doing here? Get out. You've already ruined my 2016 dream. It ain't gonna happen, Travis. And yep, he reminded me of the 2016 dream. You bastard. What does this kid say? He's talking to himself. No. So yes, there was a long delay, I guess. Maybe vision time seems longer. But he asked the question, so I seriously took it to heart. And there was that still small voice saying, no, that vision you just had will not happen. But I want it to happen. They'll not give me the eagle. Hey, you gotta be honest. It's not gonna happen. So I had no choice. No. Okay, thank you, Travis. Go wait out in the hall. It seemed forever. And it was forever. I was talking to the priest quorum advisor who brought me there. Because parents weren't going. And we were talking in the hall at the church, because the church and the Boy Scouts were one and the same back then. And back then. And yeah, we were talking about, at first he was saying, oh yeah, everybody gets it. It won't be a big deal. It shouldn't take long. Wow, this is really taking a long time. Yeah, great. Isn't that special? And so, yeah, they get out and they say, well, we weren't going to give it to you, but the woman in our committee said that, well, we do tell them that they need to be honest. It's kind of in one of our motto things, isn't it? Honest, true, chaste, benevolent, virtuous, and in doing good to all men. Indeed made me say, with follow the admonition of Paul. Oh, that's Article of Faith number 13. Oh, it's the one with morally straight before it was taken out. And then the church wanted to bail. It was just wrong, the timing of it all. The church, the major funder of Boy Scouts, of major number of boys, major number of scout leaders, and morally straight, repeated frequently in our meetings and everything, and yet we find out after the fact that the church's leaders, scout leaders, were sexually abusing 3,000 plus Boy Scouts in Utah and Arizona. Thank God I was in California. And then the Boy Scouts decided to drop morally straight during the We Support Gays movement to try to get gays into the Boy Scouts. And this is what my childhood peers who were white supremacist Christian nationalists were using as their abusive name calling, is Boy Scouts for being raped. by the scout leaders. And then the homophobic 80s. That's gay. You're gay. Everything's gay. You do that, that's gay. You listen to that, that's gay. You watch that, that's gay. You touch that, that's gay. That's your favorite color, that's gay. That's your favorite ice cream, that's gay. And yet, there the church was, doing it the whole time. Until, Antifa, or QAnon comes along and says that there's space alien satanic pedophiles on Earth in the rich elite. Oh, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yep, filthy rich from tithing, from the planet Kolob. You did catch that, right? Because I'm planning on putting it in the picture about the meteor from Kolob. I have to explain it. I just ruined it. Thanks a lot. And sure enough, pedophiles as well, satanic worshippers of the inverted pentagram on the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple. Oh my God. Peter was right. Tom Jones was right. So humiliating. So humiliating. My own church. A terrorist enemy. And yep, Danites. It's not even Jesus. I mean, we're supposed to be Emmanuel, but still, I mean, they claim it's Jesus. It's not even Jesus. It's the god Dan. From Amos chapter 8, verse 14. Danites. So, yeah, that's been my life. With my right brain, because of Mrs. Fiskin. So, moving into the future. So when Mary, quite contrary, thinks she's going to save the church and protect them from me, working in conjunction with YouTube, with Max C, or did you replace Max C? Max C get fired finally? Or are you working with Max C? So that's the double shifts that I thought it was going on. I don't know, because I noticed shift patterns, shift work. I noticed the patterns. I noticed it can't be AI because there's human shift patterns. It's obvious. And yet. So, Mary. I'm chatting with her, saying, hey, the checking is still running after the full length of the video. It was the 2-hour, 15-minute video that I did. And Mary purposely wants to use psychological manipulation to have me feel good about reporting this. I'm all about words and evidence. Hold that for a brief moment. And so then she says, give me 5 hours and I'll check on this for you. And she comes back and she does what's already on her screen to send me. I know how this works. I've been in those jobs. For DirecTV, for example, I was part of the the phone operators. Hi, my DirecTV won't work. And so I have to read from the script on the screen. Okay, let's go through this. Did you turn on your TV? Oh, no. Oh, hey, it's working now. Thank you. Have a good day, sir. Because I'm not rich enough to afford DirecTV, even though they gave me an employee discount for it. Would kind of help if I knew the product and how it worked and functioned in my life. You know, like working for Blockbuster Video. Perfect! And then Blockbuster Video decided, we don't want to make money anymore. Let's tank our businesses and cause all our employees to get fired. That sounds like a brilliant idea. Hey, I'm one of the CEOs. Let's steal money from the company before it goes bust. Brilliant idea. Brilliant. And so I respond with what I told you I responded with in the video yesterday, or the other day, whenever it was. Because it's all over here, not here. And so, yeah, I hang up and I thank her for the report number and her name. And I hang up. And wouldn't you know it, boom! Oh, the checking stopped instantly. I had up to 24 hours to wait. I already knew that it was a human causing the problem, and that a human can fix it. And they still want to lie to me and gaslight me and psychologically manipulate my emotions to make me feel better. Bleep you! I know it's a human causing all this. So yes, I've been warning you about AI. It is not independently doing this. The humans programmed it to do these things. Everything it does, a human programmed it to do those things. And again, Bill, come on. No. AI is human. It's a human program. A human put it in there to cause planes to crash into each other. A human programmed it to shut down airports, to shut down banks, to shut down grocery stores, to shut down the power grid, to shut down the government, to shut down. You're not getting it? Humans. It's a malware virus. It's causing a fire sale. It's running tests. It's stealing your information. It's hacking your systems. I see the shift work pattern. Human. A Valentine's Day massacre. Human. Nelson getting up in 2019 saying, yeah, name, Jesus. Yeah, that was the church. The church is behind all this. They're the major stockholders. I see the connections. You don't. pisses me off. Seeing the news. Getting scared. Oh no. It's going to replace all our jobs. Yeah. Because the human CEO had the humans program it to do that. There is a major conspiracy to have the top technology companies rule the world and exterminate mankind. And this is where you don't see it, I do. And I'm warning you of the danger you're all in. That the church is behind it all. And people should be scared and terrified of what's coming. And people don't see it coming. ICE bought a warehouse in Utah. Governor Cox, what a shocker, now says, I think this is a good idea. It's going to provide 10,000 jobs and give a $1 billion boost to the economy. And you fell for that, did you? The press did. Because what is he trying to say to the protesters? He's manipulating your feelings. 10,000 jobs, 1 billion to our failing economy because of all of the crises that are going on of people not coming to Zion's National Park. Which, yeah, in the news. Over 1 million less in 2025 than 2024. Yeah, people aren't coming to Utah anymore. And now we just got rid of Sundance. Brilliant! We'll make so much money. Oh, yeah, we got the best snow in the world. Oh, we didn't have any snow at all this year? A little. Exactly. We're headed for a massive drought. And so with ICE, this detention center, and AI taking away jobs, ICE doesn't need the 10,000 humans. Oh, that would be hilarious for Cox to dare to do that. Or actually, it would be Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, we're just putting in robots, AI robots. They do a better job than humans. We can't trust the humans. We're locking them all up anyway. Yeah, didn't you know this? ICE. AI. It's doing the work of humans. ICE. Locking up humans. It's in the business for the warehouse to lock up humans. It's a massive warehouse to hold a massive amount of humans. And they're claiming, oh yeah, 10,000 jobs, $1 billion to the economy. Utah only has 3 million. And a very high percentage of whom are on Trump's illegal list to be deported to the bleep hole country where they never came from. The majority. Yeah. Which apostate are you, boys and girls? Take the quiz now. See? I learn from history. You don't. Despite all your memorization, getting high honors graduation at Norco High School and BYU, becoming valedictorian at both, And then when you went to a real school, the University of Michigan, yeah, I'm talking about Todd. See, he was left brain. He memorized. The University of Michigan told him, you did not follow the science of sociology. We cannot give you your doctorate. We cannot accept your thesis paper of your research in Ephraim. You did not follow the principles of sociology, scientific method. BYU did not teach Todd the scientific method in sociology. Valedictorian, high honors student from BYU. And the University of Michigan said, you did not follow the scientific method. Which is actually over here. But because I used this side for transferring files, oh. Yep. Exactly. So Todd pulled the religion card, in case you were concerned. And all he can do is get a job working for the church at the church office building and failing to report to the leaders of the church why Mormons don't want to come to church anymore and don't get married. Right, Todd? Why don't Mormons want to get married? Oh, you want to get married, but you're not married. Why is that, Todd? I at least had 2 failures, and I don't even know the count anymore for all of the failed dates. I lost Kimberly over charity. Charity. Fiskin. Fiskin. No. So, yeah, it's Saturday. Screw the time. So, skipping ahead into the future. I know all about the latter days, Oaks, or Nelson. Dear God, I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. They know this of me, because of what they did to me. I don't forget. I know it all. So, on December 28th, 2018, I sent a letter to the Presidency of the 70. This was right before 2019. I didn't know anything. I'm out of the church. Remember January? No? You don't remember? Right, over here. Got it. You don't memorize my videos. They're not on Jeopardy. In Travis's July 2017 video, which sign in the heavens was he referencing from Scripture? Or I guess he asked the answer, and then you're supposed to answer with a question, or bleep Jeopardy. Jeopardy! Ken Jennings, Mormon. See, Mormon, memorized. Yep, that's all the job he could get is working for Jeopardy. BYU graduate, and the best he can do is work for Jeopardy because he won on Jeopardy. Because the church has no need for him. Thanks for your money. Now go die. So, I'm going to read it to you. I've got my membership number still. I should have put my troublemaker file number. 36434. Because January I got booted out of the church for doing a YouTube video on this channel about Adam fell that man might be. And that's going against the leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Travis, you apostate. Repent. Take down that video. The Strengthening Church Members Committee reached out to your bishop to have you take down that video about how true the Book of Mormon is with the scientific method. Because the leaders of the church don't preach the Book of Mormon. Well, bleep the church then. I'm out. December 28th, 2018. You probably don't know if I were to ask. Pop quiz, Mormons. You shoot the hostage. That's not the question. Dun 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 dun. Speed. You guys do know that one, right? I don't think it's rated R. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't care. I don't worship the God of R rating. And so, yeah, I never went back to church. So here we go. I have been born and raised in the church with parents both born and raised in the church. Fine. Who did Moses see at the beginning of the latter days? I mean, the Exodus. Before confronting Pharaoh to let my people go. The elders of Israel? Who are the elders of Israel in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? The 70? What is the road directly to Zion, Mormons? What's the name of that I-70? Yeah, I catch on. You don't. That's why I'm warning you. And here I was. I didn't know. I was just inspired to do it. With that voice that I'm not happy with. I want her to come with me. I don't want to be alone. I like women. I just want one. I want to play with her. Why can't I have one woman to play with? I've graduated from early morning seminary. Which has a lot more meaning now. Obtained by Eagle Scout. Served a 19-year-old mission to New York, New York under Creel Coford. Graduated from Ricks. Obtained a bachelor's in Bible studies from the University of Lethbridge, Alberta, with a minor in classical language of Biblical, Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. And I adjusted it because it doesn't exist. There was no major. The guidance counselor made it up so I can get out of there. Abandon me. Kick me out. So it's anthropology of the ancient Middle East. But I'm speaking to a specific audience, so I worded it that way. And served as a church service missionary for the then curriculum department. It was priesthood curriculum department, wasn't it? Anyway, because then it became the priesthood department after I got freed. In the top committee to revise scripture footnotes with the guide to the scriptures for the 2009 foreign language editions. Attended the University of Utah, disciplining in anthropology of Egypt and the Middle East, ancient Egypt. Oops. I've taught teachers how to teach and have published a scripture study manual. I'm the one who discovered the origins of the alphabet, Paleo-Hebrew, deciphered it, which led me to discovering that the Egyptian pictures that accompany the text also need to be translated. So yeah, Book of Abraham and that Book of Joseph that never got translated, except for what got put in to facsimile number 2 that Joseph gave an explanation for. Thus confirming that Joseph Smith was correct. See, I'm not being mean to these guys, even though the living prophets of Jesus are false. Whereas the gospel topic essay, Historicity and Translation of the Book of Abraham, of John D., is wrong. Because I have confirmed the discovery by identifying that the post-captivity Jew who wrote the Torah used the same and exact process to render the Torah account. And thus I am able to reconstruct the original Torah. Article of Faith number 8. They should know this information, as should all Mormons. I am toning it down. As part of my educational background, I have discovered the ancient method of star reading or astrology, astronomy technically, but they don't understand that, which is far different from modern corrupted form, because we are in the latter days, not just because that is a part of the name of our church. I have observed the signs of the heavens and their connection with events on earth, as Joseph Smith changed the wording in Revelation chapter 12, verse 1, in the Joseph Smith translation. I will illustrate what I know with a chart to help you understand. I should make that into a picture, even though I will put the whole letter in for you. If I put it at the beginning, you guys are going to get bored. You never hear any of this. And so I go back to the 2002 Winter Olympics, April-May 2002, with all 5 visible planets aligning in the sky in the evening. James E. Faust dies, 10th of August 2007. How many saw my video about my one-on-one with Faust? I put a pretty picture at the beginning to let you know. Hinckley dies. L. Tom Perry dies. Boyd K. Becker dies. Richard G. Scott dies. You can tell I hadn't done the version of the picture that I now post, because I put see picture below, and the picture is the tetrad of 2014, 2015, only the moons. And so I hadn't gotten around to running the test for the suns yet. Solar eclipses. And Richard G. Scott, and I didn't check it with the, I should have checked it with the Jewish calendar, because that was Yom Kippur when he died. 22nd of September, huh? Ooh, Joseph Smith. 2 sets, 4 times. And Family Discovery Day, and the flood in Elko, Nevada, and so I didn't know yet about, oh yeah, remember? Virgins. There were 3 virgins sacrificed on the altar of Elkanah. And then Abraham sacrificed on that same altar. Ooh, virgins are for Virgo from Joseph Smith translation. Let's check. Oh, the 10 virgins. And yeah, the 3. And in 2016, following those 3 sacrificed blood moon virgins in Virgo, sure enough, 21st of August 2017, on the lion couch of Apostolic Interregnum. Yep. You're welcome, Irene. I set the trap, you fell into it. Isn't that hilarious? Comedy ensued. So Family Discovery Day, flooding in Elko, Nevada, Revelation chapter 12, verse 15, and 16 technically, because that's where Nelson was in Salt Lake on the same day. And so yes, signs in the heavens, guys. Pay attention. So you're now remembering, right? Oh yeah, Travis put 2 pictures, one for today and one for tomorrow, of the moon in Aries. You don't know. I have to explain it to you, don't I? Fish can! Abraham going to the top of the mountain of Utah with his son Isaac to abandon him out there. To kill him. Hold still, Isaac. What are you doing? Where's the lamb, Daddy? Where's the lamb? Jesus will provide. Has Jesus committed suicide to save you for you paying him back with 10% perpetually? You in similitude must also die. But Daddy, who's going to be the tribal leader? Todd. Todd will be the tribal leader. But he's stupid. BYU taught him wrong. So yes, an angel appears and a ram. Yep, 8 April 4 CE. 600 years from the time Lehi left Jerusalem. 20 years. See the math getting moved over here. Oh! To 8 April 2024. The 3rd and final day of darkness of Chi Rho. the day and hour of the coming of Jesus, and he failed to show for dress rehearsal. I showed for dress rehearsal. I did my part. Where's Pharaoh? Hello, Moses here. Where's Pharaoh? Yeah, he couldn't make it for dress rehearsal. What do you mean he can't make it for dress rehearsal? I parted the waters. I'm all ready to go. And Pharaoh's a no-show? What the bleeping hell? What kind of a criminal operation is this? Running test runs instead. And the main actor didn't even show up for dress rehearsal. Dear God, what a humiliation. So yeah, Joseph Smith translation. Joseph is helping you out with decoding scripture. Visions. And so, yes. Death with Aries. So I don't know. Chuck Norris died yesterday. So, I see all of this. And I do these videos, 10.2, for you guys. And Mormons just, I don't see what the church is true, Travis. I don't understand. You're of the devil. You're mentally retarded. Yeah, you have Todd. Thank you, Bill. I told you, he secretly watches my show. Secretly watches. Yep. And staying alive. And so, Thomas S. Munson's birthday on the Egyptian religious calendar New Year, 21st of August, 2017. Yeah. Remember? No? Okay, whatever. Do you know how frustrating it is to have to keep repeating information for you guys? And so, General Conference, First Time Relief Society. New primary president is the Relief Society president, 23rd September 2017, from Revelation chapter 12, verse 1 to 3. Note 3 planets needed to fulfill the sign. Perry Packer Scott, 3 die, 3 replace them. I see what's going on. And the 5th dark day of Hanukkah, 17 December 2017. I did the video just the other day, the Mormon. I therefore should still have it in the system unless it got transferred. Might have gotten transferred. Let's check that file first. Get lost. Da, 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 da. I probably made a snapshot of it. Maybe. There's the OnlyFans. Yep, there it is. Dream world. Living in a dream world. Gospel lessons, last days, signs in the time of the times in exact order according to God's chiasmus. You guys are no match for me. Just quit now. Humiliations galore. Last days, signs of the times, in exact order, and I underlined it for you, and then I put the actual exact order of the signs in the heavens, and that's what I'm telling the Presidency of the 70, who would have put that letter in my 36434 file. Yeah, we'll get you, Travis. See? The exact order of the latter days. And the church kept this a secret from you. And then Thomas S. Monson dies, supermoon, sign of Revelation 12:4, Joseph Smith translation, Revelation 12:4, 2nd January 2018, total solar eclipse, and then it also had a blood moon wolf full-on thing. And so then I put the next coming one in January 21st, 2019. Just saying, guys. So I didn't know that Nelson had changed the temple text. Didn't know what changes would be made. That it would further alter the temple for what the Jews called of the Greeks when they did it to the Jerusalem temple. Pattern match. The abomination of desolation. Prostituting women, not just changing the endowment ceremony. So yes, this is what the letter actually was intended for. And so, sure enough, the end of 2019, into 2019, oh, I found the receipt. So, thus, in advance of suing in Pharaoh's court, I met with the elders of Israel, in case you hadn't caught on. There has been much more, especially involving the United States government, but these directly relate to the church. Hadn't found the receipt yet. Interesting. Yeah, because I talk about it. I expect the fulfillment of the prophecy of the sign. I don't know the fulfillment until after the events take place, but I know that this one will be beyond big. Yeah, the temple change. How did I know? The signs for the deaths of the church presidents have been intensifying, such that there is no doubt that we are being directly warned by God Himself. I had yet to do that chart! So yes, this was a warning to Nelson not to touch the temple. And he did it. And he's gone. And I called it in dreams. And the day and the minute. Bleep the day and the hour. I got the day and the minute. I come to you rather than the apostles or the first presidency because of what I expect will transpire as the earthly event, though I don't know yet for sure. In Doctrine and Covenants 107 is the passage where Brigham Young claimed to be the successor, but he left out verses 21 and 22. And I quote Hinckley. Of necessity, there are presidents or presiding officers growing out of. Not done. Oaks. They would have sent you this for their meeting. D. Todd let everything be known to you guys, right? And so Cook is the one who's dropping the ball now. And so 23 and 24. Yeah, sure enough. And so after giving them this letter, I would eventually later on in 2019 check the Wikipedia page on the 70 and found that they changed it. In the unlikely event that the First Presidency and Quorum of the 12 Apostles are unable to perform their duties, hypothetically the 70s would be the head of the church to lead the church. No, that's not what it says. Brigham Young was wrong in his interpretation. He was a part of the missionary department, as we would call it today. The leadership is far different than 12, rather than a presidency of 1 with 2 counselors. They were not intended to have church leadership authority, as is our practice today. Yep, not supposed to have the Spirit, Seer, Prophet, Revelator, Translator. The Standing 12 did. The High Council, Oaks. Those in charge of tithing are a part of a council, including the First Presidency, the presiding or the bishopric, and the 12 apostles. It says so right in section 120, Travis. I don't see 12 apostles, Oaks. I see High Council. From section 102. I don't see 12 apostles. But not in accordance with the church's presidential succession. That was established in 1940 with the filing of the sole corporation status that has become tradition to this day. Uh-oh, guess what I found? I still didn't have the receipt yet. Yep, that's why they changed the name in 2019. Bastards. Because I told them I knew. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Who's the seer? I'm the seer. So yes, the Church of Jesus Christ have been making their changes and did a test run because of me. Unless they want to confess that I have seer powers. They did it irrespective of me before I did this. You can choose. Joseph Smith made it clear from the Revelation that within each quorum of presidency is to be appointed by vote of those in the quorum for the church presidency. Joseph Smith established the manner to choose when his family line could no longer lead. The whole Melchizedek priesthood body were to vote from among those campaigning for the position. That's for patriarch. I have to make it clear. In section 102, the presidency of the 70 who remain, so I even point out the High Council, are to nominate successors to their presidency to be voted for, but this is not for any other office. The sustaining votes we've been holding in General Conference are wrong. Merging the vote with the sustaining, thus not having a vote at all. The appointments to offices by the bishop and by the stake president have also been the wrong process, which in Utah especially has resulted in nepotism. I am awesome. I have not read this. I'm just inspired. I'm just doing what the little voices in my head tell me to do. Right, Oaks? What do the little voices in your head tell you to do, Oaks? Do they tell you to help Mormons and save their lives, bring them home from their missions, and gather the Mormons from all over the world rather than having them die, having bishop storehouses at every single ward to care for the membership? Or to murder everybody? To abandon them? Like everybody's been doing to me. Ooh, Travis, how'd you do that? And the appointing of close friends rather than the vote of the separate quorums. Oh, Karen, huh? Huh, from Saudi Arabia, is he? Didn't you have the Saudi Arabian princess previously doing business deals, funding Islamic terrorism? Huh. And then Kosei was the money man, the bag man? Then Gilbert? That I called out in advance? Thus the tradition is not the will of God, as the leaders have all historically called it. If you ain't following the word of God, you ain't following the will of God. If you're making up your own word, you're making up your own will, and if you're calling it God, you've got a Messiah complex. Right, Oaks? By connecting the signs in the heavens with events on earth, it is clear God is furious with the Brighamite LDS Church and is escalating the conditions to restore his true church and establish his kingdom on earth. I was just as surprised as you are now listening when I first learned of this. I'm not asking you to take any action. I just wanted you to be informed in the hopes that you will be prepared for whatever God has planned. May God show mercy on the faithful. Travis Wayne Goodzone, with space for me to sign. So yeah, the first one I'm going to have to take out the information even though I no longer live there. But I'll leave my membership number in. And I'll probably put in my troublemaker file. So yeah, this will be the video. This will be the title of the video. So that's why I can justify putting it in now. And so, yeah, we'll go over all these other papers. Oh, dear God. Okay, this is not. That is not. I do need to make a picture of the Nazi labels next to the new food pyramid with the inverted pentagram, or the inverted triangle, just like the Nazi labels. I warn, you guys don't listen. Okay. So, seer stones found in the falling star from the planet Colobite. So I've got the pictures already set up for you to show you that what they found is exactly what I have and I use, and I plug it into my computer. And I did that video with the picture before I found this. 7 tons, huh? Iran hit the Jerusalem city, the old city walls. And so, yeah, it will be interesting to see if Iran destroys the Islamic mosque, if they're the ones that do it. That'll be very curious and interesting. But Israel shut down that mosque so that nobody attends it for their protection. For this very reason, they attacked. Gambling is forbidden in the state of Utah unless the church is involved with some kind of a program for it. You know, like fire insurance. Kimball got up, or not Kimball, Hinckley got up at priesthood and explained gambling to us by definition. And so, yes, insurance is gambling. And Utah is a big insurance company state. And other gambling operations that the church is involved with tithing. Tithing is a gambling operation, among many other financial crimes. But nonetheless, it's specific gambling that they will not clarify in the laws that they make. So the church technically is violating the laws of the state of Utah for no gambling. They're gambling. And nonetheless, when you forbid something that the populace wants to do because of the oppression of the government, thus gambling goes underground. Leaders either know this and do it intentionally to create an underground, to thus create the boogeymen who are real, so that they can vilify them with the false dichotomy, calling the underground movement the criminals, the evil element in our society that we must destroy and remove, and thus keeping them going so that you can keep the fear for the rest of the populace who are not involved in the underground gambling movement, or those who are, who know that they are, and they think they're getting away with it, and yet they keep getting exposed. Certain things get shut down on occasion. You know, like happy ending parlors. There are more of them than there are McDonald's restaurants now. I do the videos. They know that massage parlors are happy ending parlors, and yet, it just, come on. Everybody wants to play dumb. They're doing this on purpose, because the church needs you compromised. Creating blacklists for the internet sites, porn sites, social media sites, when the church should back off if they were following the Constitution. They're not obeying the Constitution. So if you're not obeying the Constitution, you're an enemy of America, and therefore you're a terrorist or an insurrectionist. And what is the penalty? It's real simple. Pattern match. And so, yeah, the gambling operations in Utah. They used to have the vending machines constantly in the news, especially out in West Valley, just down the block from me. The convenience store had the vending machines. There were supposed to be little fun games, and then when the cops get told that, hey, there's gambling going on, they go in and remove all the gambling machines. And so now with the internet, there's an app or site, I don't know what it is, I don't care, I don't use it. Kalshi. That's the latest thing to gamble on any and everything. When the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will fall, yeah, it's one to 1 odds now. Everybody knows it's about to collapse, and so nobody's placing bets on it anymore. But still, you can. Or you can place your bet that's an infinity and beyond to 1 that it won't fall. Because I did the video. The sign in the heavens has already happened. It's coming. That's what it's all about. It's coming, Oaks. I warned you. You're not listening. Is it Cook's fault? D. Todd knows if Cook isn't giving the full reporting of me, because he had to give the full reporting of me before. They know. And so this is why there's the sexual deviance in Utah, the crime in Utah, the gambling in Utah, etc., 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 because of the church and its abuse. Passed on to the government, who are all Mormons, who abuse. And like I said with the ICE facility, you take away the people, then it doesn't matter about the 10K jobs, because the money they get isn't going to be enough for them to live off of anyway. Especially when you remove the people, jobs go bust. They can't afford to live and produce goods and services for the community. So you're going to have a collapse of the economy with an ICE detention facility. That's what they're not telling you. I can see the future. They think, ooh, money, money, money. We're going to be so rich, destroying Utah. People are stupid when they're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. I don't know. I think women think that Kiefer Sutherland is, a dreamboat. I don't know. I know women. I don't know guys. And so, what women want, I don't know. But yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, I would assume, because he did Lost Boys and 24 and other shows. So I'd think that women would be all hot and horny for him. Because for them to say that, nah, I'm not really into Kiefer Sutherland, is like a guy saying, I'm not really into Sydney Sweeney. Sure, she's got good genes, but... Good morning, Idaho chick. Did you get to that comment? Snuck it in at 1 hour and 48 minutes in. When nobody else is listening. And so, yeah, this is the utopian principle of Thomas More, Drew Barrymore, Ever After. Oh, yeah. Utah raises Utahns to be criminal and corrupt. And the words of the living prophets of Jesus help exacerbate this problem by preaching falsehoods. When you preach falsehoods, the result of falsehoods is corruption. The church is preaching falsehoods at the pulpit of conference. All you had to do was fact check them, do a pattern match. These words are not like the words in Scripture. I don't see it. So yes, everything the church does leads to corruption. Consequences. Destruction of the church. Trying so hard. Abbott, day 3. I need to get that picture of them. Have a new picture every day. Living in a dream world. Got an early spring.
told you it was coming.
Partying the waters this year, guys, because Trump failed last year. Dream world, we are living in a dream world. Da, da. So I intended to make other videos last night, not just the BYU Hawaii gone, sunk into the ocean depths. But yeah, I saw the map of the Hawaii thing when I was watching the news, and I went, wait a minute, isn't that where BYU Hawaii is? My mom would have instantly known if she had saw that news report. She would have freaked out. Oh no! Oh no! I went and dated Elvis there. Trying to convert him to the church. Then he turned into drugs and he died. Did I throw my underwear for this? I saw that movie, brilliant movie, Elvis. And yet it creeps me out because my mom was a very big, huge Elvis fan. She had all his albums until he started doing drugs, and then it's like, oh, no more Elvis, huh? She watched his movies. Yep, my mom's dirty little secret that turned her into a Nazi. Because when you think that you're doing something that the church is not approving of, you're a sinner and evil, and so you turn into a Nazi to try to make sure that you and everybody else obeys the living prophets of Jesus. Because you're a sinner and you need to repent by taking away the agency of others. Yeah, I don't see that in the scriptures. I don't see that. So, the church handed over a whole institute of religion to Islam. Isn't that nice? They didn't want to build any more Islamic centers for them, so they just gave them our own buildings. Here, take an institute down in St. George. Here you go. Oh, thank you. Trump keeps repeating the little poem about the little girl and the snake. Islam is the snake. Mormons are the little girl, the daughter of Zion. Bye-bye. You knew who they were if you'd only studied about them. But the church said we're just like Muslim, and that is the direct consequence. They are terrorists. The church has been funding Islamic terrorism. We're fighting Iran for that reason. But there's an alternative reason. I agree with Trump going in and fighting Iran. They are a terrorist organization, as is all Islam. From Muhammad, I know the origin story. I know why women wear the hijab. I don't know if women in Islam do or not, because I see that they also force their little babies, who are girls, to wear the hijab. So if you're raised up wearing the hijab because it's your religion, and you go and you tell the dumb Westerners that it's part of your culture, so that when you convert to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so that you can have a job to work for the church, you tell them, no, this is cultural, it's not religious. But in Islam, the culture is the religion, like Jews. And so I see the Islamic women going to work at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as Mormon baptized members with a membership record. 00024800619. Which would have its troublemaker file attached to it now, for the main thing anyway. The copy I get doesn't have the troublemaker file. No, it's interesting, but anyway. And so, yes, Islam converts to the church here in Utah so that they can have a job to work. And they still wear the symbol of their religious sexual abuse by their patriarchy. Religious patriarchy. Sound familiar, Mormon women? You have to cover yours up and hide it, because that's Lucifer's plan of happiness for you. He's taking away your agency to save you. And so what Trump is doing, I see it, not even the press sees it. How did he destroy Venezuela? He first cut off the oil, destroying all the drug boats, but cutting off the oil. And so that cut off the shipping, then that cut off the air traffic, so that they then can go in with the strike force and take out the Venezuelan leader. Now that kind of succeeded, but Venezuela doesn't send oil to Cuba. Cuba is now in an electric blackout because they don't have any oil to run their electricity grid. And as a result, they too are about to collapse by cutting off oil, gas and oil. Still not seeing the pattern yet, huh? Iran, cutting off gas and oil. Iran helping this by cutting off gas and oil from other Islamic countries. That's strange. I thought they were your fellow brethren. Why are you attacking your fellow? Oh, because we have American military sites there and Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints churches there. Bednar's tour. I see these connections. Church is Judas. And so sure enough, oil, not just for the Islamic countries, not just for Europe. Now that Putin has oil, hey, we'll help you with oil. Yep. And guess what? Oil is being sent by Putin to Cuba. What will Trump do? Cuba needs to conform and comply and hand it over to Trump. Because if the oil gets there, then they can resume and then resist Trump. Is that what Trump wants? To have oil sold to Cubans from Putin? Is it? Stay tuned. We're still 2 weeks away from Jesus and his big show. 2 weeks. Oaks sent an additional 2 death threats because you weren't listening to me. Why is that, Max C. and Mary? And Trump also. Yeah, we should be finished by Easter. 2 weeks. This is not supposed to be the test run year anymore. We're supposed to have Jesus show. It's supposed to be here now. Supposed to be here. Oh, we already covered you, didn't we? Alright, cool. So I don't need you on the screen anymore. Yeah, all of this is to purposely tank the world economies. Why would he want to do that? Why would he want to hurt Americans with gas and oil? Because when you raise the price so high, they're the lower economic people who are unable to afford it, and then they lose their transportation, and thus they lose their jobs, and thus a greater economic collapse as more of the stock market keeps crashing for those companies. Oh no! The Church of Jesus Christ is selling all their stocks. Why would they do that? They're the major stock investor. Why would they sell their stocks? No, keep it going up. Help the economy that has nothing to do with the stock market. It's the rich man's gambling casino, where they always win because they're the house. Yeah, Trump is destroying America through another technique because he failed in 2025. He is shutting down America. You didn't fund ICE, and so he's destroying America economically. He's demanding $200 billion from Congress for the war. He'll just launder it to ICE. We all know it. He's already getting trillions for Iran. We know what he's up to. Maybe I just know what he's up to. The news is supposed to know what he's up to because they've covered it in the news. And then they forgot. And so yes, Americans are going to suffer. TSA agents are quitting. They're not getting paid. The lines at the airports are getting very long. Those missionaries got to go out and die for Jesus. We got the quintuplets. Is it quintuplets? No, yeah, quad is 4, quin is 5. Quintuplets who are going out on their mission. One of them's a redhead. How'd that happen? They got to get out on their mission. They got to go serve the Lord by committing suicide. Suicide is painless. Don't fear the reaper. Oaks isn't calling Mormons home. Oaks isn't bringing the missionaries home. And so I would show you Heber C. Kimball's attest. The elders are going to come home when it gets so bad. And yet Oaks comes out and says, stay where you are in the Middle East. It's safer in the war zone. Where was the MASH unit in the show MASH? Was it in the war zone? What did the helicopters do? They went into the war zone to get the wounded, and where did they bring them? Out of the war zone to then be treated. And the news can't figure this out for Islam? Oh my hell. Why are little kids in the war zone? Why are pregnant women in the war zone? Why are civilians in the war zone? They were given more than advance notice to leave. So, yeah, Gaza failed. Yep, that failed. It didn't do the desired result that Islam hoped it would be. It failed. Biden failed us. So Trump took over. And so the church is selling their stocks. 3 Nephi chapter 7. I warn, I show from the word of scriptures. You're not believing, you're not listening. Now behold, I will show unto you that they did not establish a president of the United States over the land of the United States of America, but in the same year, the test run year of 2020, Jesus won't show for dress rehearsal. And so they're going to extend it to 2024 for that test run. And they did destroy upon the judgment seat, yea, did murder Chief Judge Dallin Harris Oaks. Oh, whoops, he didn't get in. This was supposed to be the end of Romney's term as president after 2 terms, but oops, he lost to a black man, huh? More Americans would rather vote for a black man than a Mormon, huh? But the church isn't racist since 1978. And the people were divided one against another and did separate one from another into nation states. Trump has been doing this. I've been doing the videos ever since. It's not the test run anymore. And they keep failing. And so last year, when Trump took over, as the test run year even, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a national divorce to separate the states. So last year, gerrymandering. Still not working. So this year, doing the same tactics to Gaza, Lebanon, Cuba, Venezuela, Iran, and now the whole world. Economically destroy the states, to force the states, if they want to survive, to do their own thing. Because they're not getting it. The church spent 200 years plotting this. It's right here in the Book of Mormon. And things are not going as they planned. But hey, that real Christ showed, who's the head of the church with the keys of Moses, who's a seer, prophet, revelator, translator. Mormons want him dead. Wow, how did the Book of Mormon know? So yes, this is why he's doing it. And that's why he came out last week and said, I expected the prices of gas and oil to be higher. Yep, he knows what he's doing. He's not mentally retarded. He's not old and is flip-flopping. He knows what he's doing. He's in the position, he's been bribed to cause Armageddon, to cause the fall of America. As I said in my July 2017 video, that is my #1 video still to this day. The fall of the United States of America. And it's also supposed to be the fall of the great and abominable Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints of Lucifer. And so yes, 2024 is 3 Nephi 11. So all of the natural disasters, yeah, They self-fulfill them. They're doing it right now. Hawaii is gone. So if we were to go through and find out which city sank into the waters, that would be Hawaii. Yep, Moroni did sink into the depths of the sea. Moroni, that's Hawaii. Ta-da! Ta-da! Which was hilarious, because the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints turned Nephi into Moroni, and Moroni is the city that fell into the depths of the water. Because I have to explain everything, don't I? And so BYU Hawaii, BYU Moroni statue, Hawaii Temple. Hilarious. Water, ice, job. Staying alive. Snow basin closed a month early. So yeah, that hurts the economy. Utah gas is at $4 a gallon per average. Trump expected it to be higher. Uh-oh. Keep going, Trump. 2 more weeks. It's 1.5 million lost. And so I just, Cox is just mentally retarded, or he's pure evil. And I'm guessing more towards mentally retarded. Because he's too stupid to know how to be evil. He's a yes man. And it's the same thing. Snow basin. They need snow for people. You cut off the snow, they don't get the people, you don't get the money. You can't operate a business. They had to close a month early. They're closed. We're not the greatest snow on the earth anymore. The church is the cause of this. They stole the water from the Great Salt Lake. Oh, but they donated some. Yeah. And what did the news keep telling us every single winter? We need snowpack. Doesn't matter if we get rain, we need snowpack. So the church, by donating water, okay, a temporary boo-boo on a big crisis that the church caused by stealing the water. Because taking out water from the Great Salt Lake prevents the lake effect for snow effect on the mountains. And so having a low Great Salt Lake prevents snow in the mountains. And the snow on the mountains just isn't going to fix itself until you fix the Great Salt Lake, but you aren't going to fix the Great Salt Lake until you fix the snow in the mountains that provided for the water in the Great Salt Lake. We're in a major crisis. And it ended up being the Salt Lake City mayor to now punish Utahns to conserve water. Stage 2! Stage 2! It's the government's fault for not locking up the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who committed the crime in the first place to cause this problem. And now we, the people, are getting punished. Because what are we going to do? Oh, we can't take showers every other day? That's going to fix the problem and restore the water to the Great Salt Lake, and the reservoirs and the mountains are going to get snow now? No. It's going to get worse. I know this. Those who are homeless and poor know this. Once you're on a downward financial spiral, there's no pulling out. You end up waiting to find out when is that day when you have to go to the homeless shelter, which they tried to make a concentration camp. And so now ICE got their concentration camp. Yes, people don't see consequences. They think, oh, this will be great, we'll make so much money. Well, here's the results. Now you know them by their fruits. What are you going to do about it? You're going to just die? See, at least with the ICE facility, people protested. And now they're in prison to be put in the ICE facility once they get it up and running. So yes, Iran also threatened to nuke Zion's National Park. That's the thing. Did I make a picture of it yet? Living in a dream world. So there's the heat. Hawaii. She's heat. Trump's coin. The Islamic Mormons. This is polio. Where the church goes, polio follows. There's the Seer stones. What's this one? Oh, these are the Marines, the military bases in the Middle East. Okay. So, no, I don't have that yet. Okay. So we need to get that one. But yeah, Iran is threatening to nuke Zion's National Park. Living in a dream. And we'll cover this. Iron County allowed the abuse of a child at their school. So the president of the Iron County School Board has resigned, finally, after 2 months of this scandal. And this is horrifying. He's in a position of trust to care for the children. Not to let them get hurt. Not to let them be abandoned and abused by a 5th grade teacher who gives an F on an Idaho report. They're for the kids, to help them get educated through the scientific method, not the church's spiritual method. Because that causes harm. Right, Todd? And it is horrifying that companies like YouTube are abusing people. You know, Gephardt is talking about companies that abuse their clients. What the bleeping hell is going on? Oh, we're going to be so rich by abusing our customers. By scamming them and stealing their money. A brilliant idea. This is a result of a corrupt economy where everybody has to fend for themselves, a survival of the fittest. Right there in the Book of Mormon, warning you not to allow this to happen. Oops, you allowed it to happen. They warned you, don't allow priestcrafts, because priestcrafts enforced with violence will lead to the utter destruction of Mormonism. And Utah, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, you let it happen. The Lamanites utterly destroyed the secret band of Gadian. The Nephites brought him in. Oh, we got to give you rights and privileges to be criminal in your underground secret economy. Murder to get gain. You were warned. You had the Book of Mormon. Just because the church taught you wrong doesn't excuse you, per se. The church, yeah, they got the greater condemnation because they were the leaders. But you as the followers were supposed to run the check to make sure that they were not false prophets. And thus search for your true prophet, because the scriptures give you the calendar date and clock time of the day and hour of his coming. So you would know him, not try to murder him like a layman. Lemuel. Or King Noah and the priests of King Noah. So I think we're done. Oh yeah, global freedom is also declining. Yeah, consequences of Steve Bannon going on his European tour after destroying the 2016 election, causing Brexit and the fascist governments of Europe. So yeah, everybody's rising up now because this will be brilliant. People will love us for taking away their agency. Why didn't we think of this before? Thank you, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for coming to our country and talking about religious freedom. Thank you, and good night.